Hey, it's Dr. J. Hi students, I'm here for you to do a video lecture on Chapter 12. Chapter 12 is about product and promotion. Very nice. So in Chapter 12, we're going to talk about products, how to promote them, what's good, what's bad, what works, what doesn't, things like that. We're going to talk about variation of products, quality of products, and understanding various promotional products. All right? Okay. So products, it's probably more than you thought. It is. It really is. Products are everywhere. When you think about it from a business perspective, products are always a result of somebody else's idea. Okay? Anything that you see, be it a building, clothing, a bottle of water, a book, they were all once somebody's idea. Okay, so that's really important to remember that the ideas become things, okay, especially in business. All right, so services, a product by any other name. So products are really important. The name of the product is also really important. To go more into that, it's really important to understand the viability of the product in relation to the organization. Okay, if you remember, there was some years ago where Pepsi actually came out with a Crystal Pepsi. It was called Crystal Pepsi. It was a clear Pepsi Cola that they actually created, and the product did good for a while because it was different, and because Pepsi wanted to do something to kind of, influence the brand and get some clear cola drinkers or clear, soda drinkers to try their product. And it was really good, but it was all about the idea that the product was to communicate a new way to feel about the company. So, to make you feel like, oh, this company is invigorating, it's great, there's so much going on, and this Pepsi is clear, and all that good stuff. And it worked. It worked for a lot of years. And they actually retired it and then brought it back on an anniversary to kind of revamp that feeling of the newness within Pepsi. So I thought that was a really interesting story to share about Pepsi. So some goods versus services, a mixed bag. So goods versus services. A simple way to understand goods versus services is something you can physically take away with you versus something that you can't physically take with you. Okay, so goods are physical, tangible, and services are not tangible. All right, and it doesn't mean that there's anything wrong with tangible versus non-tangible, services versus goods. It just means that there's a huge difference in understanding, when you're paying for services and when you're paying for goods. Normally, when a consumer is paying for something physical, they're able to see it, touch it, taste it, smell it, try it, use it. If they don't like it, take it back. With services, on the other hand, it can be a little bit more tricky. For instance, I own a business called Smarter Not Harder, and I provide services to clients for different, spectrums on business. And now those are mixed. That's tangible and non-tangible because I'm giving out worksheets, booklets, information, but I'm also giving knowledge. So knowledge is the non-tangible aspect of the services that they're receiving, okay? But they can use that knowledge and create something physical. So they can create a better business structure or product development or curriculum for different trainings, okay? So just because a good and a service are different doesn't mean that they don't have a lot of similar qualities or can become one within another. All right? Okay, so we're going to go to, did peeling the onion. So we're going to go to branding. So branding is vitally important to a business. Whether you are an entrepreneur, you work for yourself, you work for, in a partnership, you work for a corporation, an LLC, it does not matter. Branding is everything. If you want to know more about branding, just think about your digital footprint. Think about, when you go on the internet, where do you go? Do you go to Facebook? Do you go to Twitter? Do you go to LinkedIn? All these are branding options because it's branding who you are as an individual. So even if you're not in a business, think of branding like a kind of like a trail, like a cookie crumb, that's following you, and it's ultimately helping you become more of yourself, whether it's a business or an organization or an LLC or yourself, a sole proprietary, something like that. So a good way to clean up your branding is to do a Google search for your name. So if you do a Google search for your name, you're going to see all of your digital footprint of where you've been that's publicly open for everybody to see. Okay? But the branding also goes into branding quality, branding names, which go into, copyright. You can't use another name that's been branded for an organization, or you need to, make sure you purchase the name or something like that. So some good sites to help you with that are things like, WordPress, GoDaddy, things like that. But a lot of those places won't give you advice on branding, but they will help you establish if, a certain name or a certain company or organization is available to purchase if you want to go into business or use it for yourself. All right. So we have packaging. Packaging is really important as well. How many times have you been in a store and you've looked at how something was presented in a package and you literally said, I don't care how good this product is, it doesn't look so hot. Okay, it's kind of like that. It's no different than if you were to go to a restaurant and the server brought your plate to you and your steak looked like it had been chewed up. And they were like, oh no, this is the new way of doing it. It's fantastic. The flavor is great. You're going to love it. It's bona fide. It's whatever the new culinary words are nowadays. And you're like, no, I'm not eating that. I'm not eating it because it doesn't look right. That's a part of the packaging. So presenting is all about the packaging. How are you presenting yourself? How's the organization presenting themselves? Is it something that's going to be, complementary to the customer base? Is it something that's going to be offensive to the customer base? If you are an outlandish type company and you're known to be crude and say, things or whatever, and that's a part of your mission statement, then obviously, then you need to work that into your business structure some kind of way. But there's a lot of different companies and they work different ways as far as packaging, branding, and understanding how to present themselves. All right. Okay. So different types of innovation. So what is innovation? First of all, businesses need innovation. People need innovation. Products need to be innovative. It's all about bringing something to the table that's new, fresh, and excellent, like just innovation. It's about revamping ideas. It's about understanding how to address something clearly and present a finished product that's going to be acceptable to your consumer or to the marketing place. Okay? All right. So promotion influencing consumer decisions. So promotions definitely inspire consumer organizations, but it also is about understanding the consumer per se. So if you are Oreo or Nabisco, let's say Nabisco, take one from the book. If you're Nabisco and you know that you have your die-hard Oreo fans where they like the classic Oreo cookie, then you're not going to take that off the shelf. You may add to it and do a vanilla cream, a rainbow, a blueberry mint, or whatever, because I know they have all kind of Oreos nowadays. You may do that, but you're not going to take that original Oreo away because you know your base consumer loves the classic Oreo. That's just what it is. Okay? The consumer made that decision. After it's been presented to them, there's no way you're taking it away. So now it's not even about the company wanting to produce the Oreos. It's that they have to because their consumer base says, we want Oreos and we want the original Oreos, and that's just what it is. Yeah, you can bring a new Oreo every now and then, or a holiday Oreo, or a Halloween Oreo, or whatever, but you better not take away that original Oreo. Okay, it's kind of like that. All right, so emerging promotion tools. So emerging promotional tools such as leading in the edge, internet advertising, social media, product placement, things like that. So let's start with, let's go with internet advertising. So internet advertising is interesting because it can happen just about anywhere. And I don't know if you've noticed, but say you go to, a shoe site and you have a basket. Like many of us do, we have a huge basket or a wish list. We click all these shoes that we like or all these products that we like. And then you go over to a totally different website like your Facebook account or your LinkedIn, and on the side, you see some of those same shoes that are in your wish list. That is not on accident. That is on purpose, because all of the advertisement and marketing talk to other popular sites that you often go to, okay? So when they see that, all right, you've liked all these shoes in this basket, and then you go to your LinkedIn or you go to your Facebook, and on the side it says, hey, those shoes are 10% off. And you're like, oh, that is so awesome that they're 10% off and it just happened to be there. No, it's there on purpose, okay? It's called product placement, because you've already told them what you like, and they already know what top, 10, 15 websites you go to. So they know exactly which websites to put the products in there that you have not purchased yet that you want. Next time, just look at that next time. All right. So social media, like I said, you're on your Facebook, you go to LinkedIn, you go to Twitter, you go to WordPress, you're going to see those same products that you were looking at that are in your wish list, that are in your empty basket, that are in your Amazon account. They're going to be on the side there, and they're there on purpose. All right. All right. So, buzz marketing. All right. So, buzz marketing is basically virtual marketing. It's another way of getting mail or getting advertisements that you may or may not read, may or may not use. Okay. But the good thing about it is that it is electronic. So it's not like, you're ruining, throwing away paper or something like that. So. All right. And then the formal advertising. So the formal advertising is paper, mailers, what else? Paper mailers, postcards, things like that. If you've heard of it before, Vistaprint. Vistaprint is really popular for if you send them, if you're a business developer or you are an entrepreneur and you want to get out a big mailing, they do email masses, they do paper masses, they do flyers, envelopes, they do all kind of stuff. But it's just a more formal way of advertising, more traditional, I'd like to say. Okay. All right, so some major media categories that do a lot of marketing and advertising are obviously broadcast television, cable television, newspapers, whether online or physical, direct mail, and radio. Those are still the 5 major ways to do your marketing and advertising. Okay. Continued on with that, you can also do magazines, outdoor, and internet. So those are 3 of the addendums to the original 5. All right. So public relations. So public relations is really interesting because it can differ. It depends on what your company wants to do, but public relations can be, a spokesman for the organization, or it could be, how a company gets the word out about themselves. Often, public relations is responsible for doing email blasts, doing media responses, doing marketing, advertising events, things like that. Okay. All right, and competitive environment. So competitive environment is key to how you promotionally push your product, okay? You have to know what your competitors are doing. Even if they don't have the same exact product, the same exact thing, using the same exact materials, which is, we know is, talked about different types of competition. But even if they're not, it's really important to understand your competitive environment and how to budget yourself for your marketing and advertising budget. All right, so that was chapter 12. If you have any questions or you want me to expand on any topics, please feel free to email me, call me, come by my office. All right? I am Dr. J, and I am here for you. All right. Have a great day.